here. So who to help us, digest it all better than Noelle Nikpour? She is running for the Republican nomination in Florida's 18th congressional district. Make sure you vote for Noelle Nikpour. She's, of course, Republican strategist, political consultant, and the author of Branding America. It is so good to see you.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah. All right. So I don't even know where to start here. What about this third-party push by Crystal? And it doesn't really seem like it's gone anywhere. And if French is the best they could do, I don't know.
Well, to the mainstream people, mainstream America, people don't know the name Dave French. They don't know anything about him. So it's a pretty quick to get to know you period, which is not good. I think it would have been better if it was someone that had really high visibility, big name ID, because they did a big drum roll, so to speak, with a candidate that someone, basically wearing the suit of the Riddler. People are like, who is this?
Right.
What is this?
No, I mean, Romney, we were led to believe it could be Romney, and Crystal said a big name.
Right.
It's
a big name in wonky world, in writing world, but no one knows him, and I think that a lot of people... I
hear his family is getting to know him, yes.
That's great, Steve. That's wonderful. No, but I think, what a lot of people do not realize is that with a third-party candidate, you would have to get someone like a Bloomberg, someone that could actually self-fund it all the way to the bank, because now French, I don't know what his financial status is, but I'm sure he's not a billionaire. He's not on Fortune 500, so I don't know how he's going to drum up all this financial support. Not to mention, people are upset with government. They're upset with the fact that government is a do-nothing and it's a push-pull. They're too far to the right, too far to the left. I don't think that David French really brings anything to a third-party ticket.
And we already have our outsider who's fighting that fight. By the way, if you want to talk to Noelle and me, 877 Newsmax, 877-639-7629. What do you make of the polls that say that Hillary and Trump are neck and neck, which a month ago it was not like that at all?
I think it's because a lot of people are getting tired of seeing Hillary Clinton's name with, this investigation on the scandal. I think they're realizing that she's not the best nominee that they could have, and that's why Bernie's resonating. And along with, with the numbers, 43 to 45, you're right, that's a dead heat. Nobody thought, and I think even the Clinton camp thought, what, if it's going to be Donald Trump, we have this in the bag. Not so much. Bernie's nipping at her heels, and now Donald Trump is inching up in the general.
But it's funny you say Bernie's nipping at her heels. In California, he's 2 points behind, according to the latest NBC News, Wall Street Journal, Marist poll. They all got together. And 2 points behind. And Doug Schoen, who was the pollster for Bill Clinton, who has gone to the right a bit in the years since, wrote a piece at the Wall Street Journal today saying that Clinton may not be the nominee if she loses California, if this happens, if that happens, and that it could be, in my view, well, I won't say what I call him, Joe Biden, on a white horse, so to speak, to ride in and be the Democratic nominee.
I've heard several different kind of scenarios that all lead back to Joe Biden coming in on a white horse and taking it, because people are desperate on the left. The right, we've got our thing going, but on the left, they're like, oh, this cannot be happening. Bernie is just so far out there. His economic plans, God love him, they just don't make sense. They're not sustainable. And then you have Hillary Clinton that's just riddled with all kinds of controversy. Not to mention, they haven't really dug deep into the Clinton Foundation.
Oh, please. I don't know if they ever will. But if they ever dared to bring in Joe Biden, I don't think one Bernie supporter would come out and vote.
No, Bernie supporters almost like, for the Republicans, the Ron Paul. It kind of brings out, and that's what brings me back to California. If the millennials vote, and there's a lot of millennials in California, and they are all pro-Sanders. If these people get out and they vote,
he'll beat her.
He will probably beat her. It's not going to be just a landslide, but I think that he could beat her. And what message does that send to Hillary Clinton and the campaign
terribly
people?
Flawed candidate. All right, let's get to the phones right now at 877 Newsmax. And first up, we go to Rich from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hello, Rich.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Noelle.
Hey.
I just wanted to...
By the way, she said, hey, that means in Southern talk, where she comes from in Florida, that means, hello, how are you? Thanks for calling.
Well, I actually am from the north, but I moved down south because I turned more conservative and retired down here. But anyway, I wanted to mention that I just can't believe Bill Kristol has put it upon his back go against the people of the United States of America who want Donald Trump as a Republican nominee. It's just mind-baffling to me.
Yeah, well, Noelle?
You know, I agree, and I've got to tell you that we're experiencing people not rallying behind the nominee, and it's really frustrating. You know, we're supposed to represent what the people want, what the people of the Republican Party want, and they have voiced it, whether we like it or not. It's Donald Trump, and the fact we still don't even have Paul Ryan that has endorsed him yet, while Reince Priebus has come out and say, hey, let's all rally behind him. You know, whatever you think, let's make this Republican win, and it's for the Supreme Court nominee. So you're right. I think that's really sad that Crystal has done this.
Yeah, and you know what, Rich and Noelle, to Paul Ryan, I say I don't really care anymore. Who cares? Who cares who Paul Ryan backs at this point? Rich, appreciate your calling, sir. Let's go down to or up to Dingman's Ferry, Pennsylvania, and Glenn. Hello, Glenn.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Noelle. How are you?
Hey.
My mom's from North Carolina, and I'm a Tar Heel.
Oh, perfect.
I wanted to, if I could, I would like to talk to you about Mr. Trump's VP choices and stuff. And I had an idea. Everybody seems to be leaning towards Newt Gingrich, and the problem I have there is he has a little bit of baggage from the book deals and stuff like that. What I was thinking is Donald Trump's going to need a gatekeeper. He said several weeks ago that he's not familiar with the process in Congress and stuff like that. Who better? Who better than to have Newt Gingrich as his chief of staff to walk him through the nuances of his office and how he can get stuff
All right, I
done.
like that, Glenn. I like the chief of staff. I'm not crazy about Newt as the VP. But go ahead, give us your choice for VP, and then we'll discuss it with Noelle.
Oh, well, to me, it's kind of easy. I would pick either Jody Ernst, one, but that looks like too much eyeball stuff, like he has to have, and the Republicans need to have a female on the ticket. I think Trey Gowdy would be perfect.
What do you think, Noelle?
Well, yeah, I think, Trey Gowdy has rubbed some people kind of the wrong way, so I don't know if that would be it's an interesting choice.
Within
I'll give
the
you
party,
that.
he's rubbed people the wrong way, or over Benghazi?
I think Benghazi. Now, I like him.
I think he's
like
great,
him a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I
Might be a little hard edge on the
might
ticket.
be, and we already have Donald Trump, which is, a spoonful. But I like Donald Trump.
Spoonful of sugar.
Yeah. But what I do think, and you're right, you're absolutely right when you said, Joni Ernst, but it might be, too many eyeballs, too many people thinking that it's, obviously we're trying to play to the female ticket. But Donald Trump does have a little problem with females, and it wouldn't be bad if we had someone. I wish Nikki Haley. I think that would be a beautiful deal.
They didn't get along too well.
They don't get along.
And
that's
Suzanne
right.
Martinez,
and that's out.
That didn't get
That
along.
is out. So maybe
Marsha Blackburn.
Maybe, and
or
she's
maybe
great.
you.
And hello, you never
go.
know.
All right, thank you, Glenn. I want to get in Greta from New Orleans. We only have about a minute, Greta, but you're next.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me, Steve?
Yes, Greta. Thank you.
Okay, this is maybe a little off topic, but it's just something I've been considering about the general election and the contrast between Trump's approach and his background and Hillary Clinton's and her background. He being a businessman that studied finance. And can you hear me, Steve?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
His background being a businessman and having had a background in finance, and then Hillary Clinton being an attorney. And I gathered from some time in a case in the past that the defense 101 for anyone, and attorneys that probably know this, is whenever any issue comes up that's disparaging, there are three steps, three choices. One.
All right, now, you know what, Greta, you're going to have to hold. We'll get to you on the other side with Kristen Tate, and we could continue, but I want to say goodbye to Noelle. Good luck in your race in the CD, 18 CD in Florida.
Yeah.
And we'll have you back before the primary.
Perfect.
All right, we're coming back, ladies and gentlemen, with Kristen Tate and more of your calls. Don't go away.